Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC Fight Night Rodriguez versus Waterson. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card and our first fight on the prelim. So in our first fight, we have in the 145 division, the featherweight division, Mike Trizano versus Ludovic Klein. And I see this one right here. I feel like Mike Trizano is the more well-rounded fighter, but relatively speaking, I don't feel he has the route to, or I don't think he's that good or that much better or the edge in those other skill set, and definitely not the application of it. It's to the level it needs to be to find true success against Klein to a sustained amount to get a victory over Klein. So basically, I'm saying I'm picking Klein to win. But again, I don't feel like Trizano's offensive takedowns are going to be that great to really find success, consistent success, if any success, at taking Klein down or taking to the ground and trying to implement his grappling. If Klein fought a fighter like I say, a Grant Dawson, maybe I would probably lean to Grant Dawson just off his grappling ability, and I feel like Klein kind of falls into more so just a striker category. But again, Trizano has not been active, and his two wins like against Giannotti and Luis Pina have not, aren't aging the best at the moment. So I'm just going to have to lean to Ludovic Klein, and I feel like Trizano not going to have the success he needs with his grappling if he tries to go there or any success. And I just think Klein is a higher level striker, much faster, much sharper, much more technical on the feet. The physically stronger man, the physically faster man, harder hitting man, more technical striker, and I already kind of said this. And I just really to see him dominating the striking aspect of this fight and dominating the physical aspects of this fight when they lock up or Trizano tries to go for a takedown. This man to muscle him off and continue to outstrike him and beat him to a decision. So in this one, I have Ludovic Klein by decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, Tayfon Nchukwi versus Jun Young Park. And how I see this one right here, Tayfon Nchukwi is the younger fighter, the stronger fighter, the harder hitting fighter. I think the better striker. I think Jun Young Park, not even think Jun Young Park does have more experience, more than twice as much experience. He has some losses, but more experience. The older fighter. I definitely could think he could take advantage of Nchukwi in some ways where just take advantage of the aggression and the forward pressure of Nchukwi to like stick some jabs and then time some takedowns or go for some takedowns. But Nchukwi has some pretty solid takedown defense. Even though right now it doesn't look super stellar, he's definitely not a fighter that's going to be easy to take down or easy to hold down, especially not easy to hold down. I feel like Park can find some good timed situational takedowns, but I can't see him having sustained success getting takedowns and definitely not sustained time getting control. But more than anything, I just think Tayfon Nchukwi is going to break him down with his pressure, forward pressure, his power. And you got to, one thing about Nchukwi, some people might say, oh, it's cardio this, is cardio that, but Nchukwi has never, as far as we've seen, inside the octagon or even really outside the octagon, have cardio issues. This man runs like 6 miles a day, so that's crazy for his size and his weight class. So, and you might say, oh, his pace is like his pace dropped, but really when you look at his fights, his pace doesn't drop. It kind of stays the same. It's not a crazy high pace at all. A lot of times it might be a case of he's loaded up on a lot of power shots unnecessarily, which is like a youthful thing, which is a bit of inexperience on that side, but it's never a case that his pace is slow. It's always, he's kind of, for the most part, always riding the same pace, just in your face. It's not like a super high pace. He's doing 100 strikes at like around kind of a measure like 30, 40 strikes or 40 or less strikes around, constantly in your face, constantly pressuring and constantly walking down and breaking you down. I kind of see that against Park. Like I see Park having early success, but eventually Nchukwi's power starting to weigh on him, his pressure starting to weigh on him, and then Park starts to lose with a little bit of footwork he has and starts to get it cut down and get circled off. Circled down, get the cage cut off on him, and then Nchukwi starts to put him against the cage, start to land the power more flush, start to lock up with him, land knees in the clinch, elbows in the clinch, and start to wear Park down. Then over the course of that three round fight, have him like start to take it away in that second round and then put him away in that third round. So in this one, I have Tayfon Nchukwi by third round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division, Christian Aguilera versus, I'm messing the name, Aguilera versus Carlston Harris. And how I see this one right here is, It's really looking like a striker versus grappling matchup. Even though Aguilera is like no real slouch in the grappling, he is coming off a submission loss, which is relevant. And Carlston Harris is coming off a submission win over a 17-1 fighter. So it really looking like a submission grappler versus a striker matchup. But again, I feel like Aguilera at least is more well-rounded in that sense. But Harris also has some stoppage wins with his striking. I just feel like his defense had looked a little bit iffy. His stance looked a little bit iffy. And can see some opportunities for Aguilera on the feet. Definitely to be able to catch him. I feel like Harris should be up underneath Aguilera at all points in this fight and trying to get this fight to the ground. And I feel like, again, he has a very good puncher's chance. So this is really a pick 'em, to be honest. You know, Harris has all the steam and Aguilera has no real steam at the moment. He has all the chances in the world on the feet to, as good a chance as anyone on the feet to put Harris out. So that's what I'm saying. But I feel like Carlston Harris is going to go the route of Carlston Harris being aggressive, using that reach. They're trying to force his takedown and take it to the ground and drag and wear on Aguilera. I see him doing that. Then more so control and position on Aguilera and breaking him down in that first round after he scored his takedown, probably 2 or 3 minutes into that first round. And then we're like controlling for the rest of that round. Then the second round, rinse and repeat, but early on, probably in the first 2 minutes. And then breaking him down and tapping him out, probably around that 3-minute mark in the second round. So in this one, I got Carlston Harris via via second round submission. Excuse me. Now on to our next fight. We have in the heavyweight division, Maurice Greene versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. And how I see this one right here is both guys with cardio issues, or two guys with cardio issues. Greene is supposed to be the more technical striker. Lima is the more well-rounded fighter. Even though Greene, probably athlete low-key might have more submission wins than him, but really don't see submission wins from bottom from Greene and against lower level competition. So against the Lima, I don't really see him submitting Lima's big no neck self from the bottom position. If he in the bottom, he's gonna get knocked out by ground and pound. And really just want to see the Lima coming in, being aggressive, landing big shots, stunning Greene, and then landing ground and pound. In the third round, Greene tendency to drop his hands and as he gets tired, definitely going to that second round. Now I see De Lima being to crack him over the top when he drops his hands in that second round, and then follow him to the ground and finish him off with ground and pound in that second round. So in this one, I have Marcos Rogerio de Lima via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the flyweight division, Ryan Benoit versus Zaruk Adashev. And how I see this one right here is Zaruk is, like I said, he's gonna bring a good game against Benoit. I don't know what I'm saying. Like I said, I ain't even saying nothing yet. But Benoit versus Adashev, I think this comes down to experience. Adashev is a solid striker. He put on a better showing for himself in his second fight. Like his debut, he got knocked out by Tyson Ammo with like under a minute. But in his second fight, he put on a good showing. Was definitely outstroking every single round, outfought every single round, but a much better showing for himself in that fight. But against Benoit, you got to expect a full mixed martial arts fight. It's not just going to be a striking matchup. And Benoit has experience. I do worry about Benoit being a chinny fighter, and Adashev has an opportunity there, but I'm leaning to the experience one. And Benoit's not a slouch in striking either. He just can be chinny at times. But outside of that, I feel like Benoit can mix it up. He has experience, and that's going to be the difference in this one. So in this one, I have Ryan Benoit by decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division. Well, our first fight on the main card in the welterweight division, Donald Cerrone versus Alex Morono. And now I see this one right here is interesting matchup. Morono definitely swings some bongs. I said bongs like he be like having a marijuana party over here, smoke session, but swinging bombs. But Donald Cerrone is still a more technical striker. I think he'll take advantage of Morono's big, wide looping shots and aggressiveness, be to slam those knees to the body, a little counter knees to the body, be to catch him up top with head kicks. And it's really be to make mincemeat of him. I think Morono's almost tailor-made for Cerrone. And like Cerrone was training real hard for Diego Sanchez, another guy who just those flooding strikes. So and also a grappler, like a black belt with flooding strikes. So this really almost the same exact fight he was training for real. Except Morono's not shot in Bizarro land like Diego Sanchez is right now with his whole Fabian dude, whatnot. So a rewind 5 years back, maybe Diego Sanchez. Definitely not as good as prime Diego Sanchez. Morono's nowhere near that, but maybe 5 years ago, Diego Sanchez, he is that, so he's better than Diego Sanchez of now. So, about to see Donald Cerrone being able to take advantage of his aggressiveness, land those knees to the body, be able to chew up his body with kicks, and be able to punch his non-head movement self and just pick him apart and bring that head kick up top, like chew up his leg, chew up his body, throw some shots down the pipe, and then be able to get him to react, bring the head kick over top, drop him, and put him out there in the first round. So in this one, I have Donald Cerrone via first round TKO. Now on to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, Phil Hawes versus Cal Daukaus. And how I see this one right here, Phil Hawes definitely has that wrestling. He can use it defensively and to try to make this a striking match against Cal Daukaus, which is a very good path to victory for him. But Daukaus, we gotta stop underrating his chin. Well, his chin definitely questionable. His heart is not. He only been, matter of fact, he only has one loss. I think he might have got knocked out in amateurs, but I'm not even gonna really, don't quote me on that. But he's been dropped a couple times in the pros. But again, never a lack of heart. Never been stopped. Never been stopped as a pro. So, and Phil Hawes been stopped, twice? And also, he didn't get stopped on the Ultimate Fighter, but either way with this one. I just think Daukaus is tough. You gotta give him his toughness. He got cardio. He can go 3 rounds hard. And then Phil Hawes, last fight, he got a cookie basically. He got a couple takedowns, control time on Nastyanina Maivov. But it still got more damage dealt to him and was able to escape by on a decision, like a split decision over Nastyanina Maivov. Where I'm going with this, I feel like Kyle Daukaus is going to be able to make him work, survive a first round. That's probably have him getting dominated, but still within the fight, making him work, trying to weigh on him, attacking at all positions off his back, attempting submissions, in the clinch, attempting submissions, and just landing his own shots. Like I said, really had to see a case of like Phil Hawes coming on early, losing steam, and Daukaus making him work and causing that steam to burn out even quicker. And then taking him to the later rounds and being able to find that submission on a tired Phil Hawes, probably shooting shots, try to ice the round, and then take advantage of him needing a resting period in the resting zone and latch on submission and tapping out in that third round. So in this fight, I got Kyle Daukaus via third round submission. Now to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, Diego Ferreira versus Ferreira. Yeah, Diego Ferreira versus Gregor Gillespie. So we got Ferreira versus Gillespie. And I'm saying this a couple times because I'll be butchering his name, as people say. And they already said it in the comment section a couple times, a couple fights. So I got it right that time. Or at least partially. So give me partial credit for that. But looking at this one, I think Ferreira is definitely going to have Gillespie working in every area. And Ferreira has made a significant leaps and bounds and improvements in his career and his striking, his overall skill set, his fight IQ in the cage. He made some big leaps, and I think that's going to cause Gillespie a lot of issues in this one. Definitely early on with submission attempts. Definitely on the feet, being fearless and trying to pressure Gillespie and make it a fight and make Gillespie shoot mistimed shots or poor shots and make him work and get him in bad positions. But I think ultimately Greg Gillespie is a fighter who has wrestled at a high caliber, who still brings that same relentlessness, that same tenacity, same cardio. I don't think submission defense is necessarily an issue of his, but again, Ferreira has top-notch BJJ, so it's not an issue for him. Ferreira can make it an issue for him, but again, I just think it's a case of Gillespie. I think he's gonna be able to come in here, come well prepared, and be able to defend the submissions of Ferreira. I don't think he's going to come out and try to make it a striking matchup. I think he's going to go out there and mix it in his bread and butter and just wear down Ferreira with his wrestling, his grappling, his pace, to the point where Ferreira can't really latch on the submissions much or can't give the same energy and just be tired and break him down and wear him down and grind out a decision just with his pace, his wrestling, and his output. Ferreira early gave him some issues and probably really through the first 2 rounds being close, but being able to edge that second round and come out and dominate the third round. So in this one, I have Gregor Gillespie by decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division, Neal Magny versus Jeff Neal. So I see this one right here. Neal Magny is the more cardio fighter. He's the longer fighter, more experienced fighter. But again, still got those same skinny legs. Don't really defend the kicks the best. I feel like Jeff Neal could chew that lead leg up and have him limping and have him fighting on one leg and being handicapped out there. I feel like Jeff Neal definitely not a person that's like a a clinch or grapple wrist, has like really almost shut down takedown defense. And in the clinch, he's better in the clinch than Neal Magny. Well, only I'll say Neal Magny's better as, leaning on people when stalling in the clinch, but Jeff Neal got some sharp elbows in the clinch, and Neal Magny, if he wants to play that game, can get hit with an elbow right to the temple and might get stopped off that. But why I really think this one goes, I think Jeff Neal is able to chew the leg up, switch to the body, and it's really chopped down Neal Magny like a tree, and I think he puts him out in the second round. So in this one, I have Jeff Neal via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the women's strawweight division, Amanda Ribas versus Angela Hill. And somebody was talking about styles grapplers typically beat strikers, and I'm not even gonna act like this is a super confident pick of mine, or if it's even a confident pick of mine. It's not. It's one of the fights where if I have a dog, I gotta pick a dog in this one. And even outside of dogs, I feel like Hill's gonna win. It's not a case of I'm just picking her just to have a dog on my card. I feel like Hill could win and should win. Not could. I feel like Hill should win. But it's a confident pick that I would say put your whole paycheck on, or even half your paycheck, or even a quarter of your paycheck. No, I would say put some little side cash on, put some little piggy bank on, like some little spare chain on type pick. It's not like a super confident pick, but she's the underdog and she has a very good fight in this fight. Ribas is coming off a loss where she lost to a striker who has even worse takedown defense and worse, sometimes at least situational grappling defense than Hill. Cause yeah. Rodriguez has been, just been given a lot of takedowns and was like, I don't know, her takedown defense isn't the greatest, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, she fought Carla Esparza and was giving the ugliest and sloppiest takedowns to Carla Esparza. Had all that height and all that reach and still was giving these sloppy takedowns. Carla Esparza is a solid wrestler and all, but give him some sloppy takedowns, and he was struggled, like got one good takedown, and after that struggled and then got knocked out. So she had issues taking Rodriguez down. She really gonna have issues taking down Hill, whose takedown offense has been improving significantly, grappling improving significantly, her own offensive wrestling been improving significantly. I'm not saying she is as dangerous offensively as Rodriguez on the feet, but at least her takedown defense is more solid. She's faster than Rodriguez, faster than Ribas, more technical than Ribas on the feet. And like I said, better takedown defense, pretty solid takedown. And really in recent fights, and on this recent run for Hill, she's only been taken down when she tries to force the finish. Like, she tries to go out there and she starts chasing her opponents down and trying to load up on shots, which opens up opportunities for takedowns. Like, somebody say, oh, in the Yoda fight, she got tired. It wasn't because she got tired. Really, you don't have to look hard at the fight to see that Hill was trying to make a statement, and then she got taken down. Like, she started getting aggressive, started loading up on shots, trying to throw power in the punches, and when you thought loading up and trying to go for the finish and trying to go make statements, that leaves you open for counter and leaves you open for takedown. And again, loading up for shots, trying to put more power on to get that stoppage, caused her to get taken down when she probably got a stoppage, just been like, keep landing shots, land clean shots, probably half power or less, and keep touching her, and you'll get the same stoppage out of the rest. Like, oh, she's taking enough damage and pull her off, or her opponent would just wilt under a non-stopping damage. But at no point was Hill tired. It's a case of she got overcommitted to the finish, and that leaves you open to takedown. So if Hill can stay, just focus, realize that it's not about necessarily beautiful stoppages. It's just about, at this point, getting wins and being consistent that will get her a title shot, or at least get up the ranking. Because right now, Ribas win by split decision, controversy, or any bit will be the biggest thing for her career. So it's not about putting on some stellar performance. Even against Waterson, she was picking Waterson apart, and she didn't give up a takedown until she got overcommitted to her trying to finish Waterson. She was like destroying Waterson early on and a lot through that fight until she started, the tie was when she tried to load up on her shots and got taken down for it. So I see Ribas having issues taking her down. I'm not saying Ribas can't take her down, but I see her having issues. I want to see Ribas as an amazing takedown artist or amazing wrestler, grappler, at least offensively with her takedowns. So I can see Hill definitely stuffing a lot of Ribas takedowns. I can see Hill like dominating Ribas in the clinch. We try to go for these takedowns, land elbows, spinner to the cage, land knees, then disengage from the clinch and continue to pick apart Ribas on the feet. And I see her beating her to a decision. So in this one, I have Angela Hill by decision. Now to our next fight we have in our co-main event in the heavyweight division, Ben Rothwell versus Felipe Lins. And how I see this one right here is I think Felipe Lins is a pretty decent fighter, pretty well-rounded, but I can't see him getting this fight to the ground unless by maybe hurting Ben Rothwell. Raffle has pretty good takedown defense and has that guillotine for people that try to shoot on shots, which could be an opportunity for Felipe Lins to get tapped out if he goes the route. But I see this fight as more of a striking matchup. I just think Felipe Lins flat-footed, loading up too much. In a slugfest with Ben Rothwell, most times you're gonna lose. Ben Rothwell has a real granite chin. Felipe Lin's chin is not nearly as hard. Not nearly as stellar as Ben Rothwell. And in that exchange, Ben Rothwell just gonna get the better of him. He's the bigger, heavier man, the more sturdier man, and the harder hitting man. In the dog fight, if Lins wants to fight that, he's gonna get knocked out. That's all I see. I think it's a case of them be trading. Felipe Lins gonna be a little bit faster, quicker to the punch, but Ben Rothwell's punch is gonna be having more effect on Lins, and I see him putting Lins out in that first round. So in this one, I have Ben Rothwell via first round TKO. Now on to our main event, we have in the women's flyweight division, Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Waterson. And I'm guessing this is at flyweight because it's short notice and Rodriguez is a big girl. But yeah, Rodriguez versus Waterson at women's flyweight. And how I see this one right here, I think Waterson doesn't have the best offensive takedowns. Like, she can be tricky. She can score some takedowns, but she's not going to be relentless enough if she needs to be with it to really find consistent success against Rodriguez. And Rodriguez's takedown defense has been questionable, but at least in that Ribas fight, after the first initial takedown, she was able to stuff the other takedowns by Ribas, keeping on feet, and be able to go to work and get that stoppage in that second round. So I'm not saying that's my prediction, but I'm just saying that's what happened in her last fight. But going against Waterson, I think, like I said, Waterson not gonna be active enough for her takedown. She's not the greatest or a notable wrestler in her game. Her wrestling not super notable, so I don't see her having too much success for her takedowns. A lot of her takedowns are also odd in a way, and not the highest percentage takedowns. So against Rodriguez, I don't see her having the best success with her takedowns against Rodriguez. And I really think Rodriguez is gonna be able to be longer, be able to take advantage of her wide stance, slam kicks to her body, kick her lead leg out, bring her kick up top mid, touch her on the temple with her kick. Be big, be overwhelming, put Waterson on the back foot, outwork her, land volume, land heavy shots, and really just wear Waterson down and put her out in the third round. So in this one, I have Marina Rodriguez via third round TKO. And that concludes my fight predictions for the full card of UFC Fight Night, Rodriguez versus Waterson. And as always, thanks for watching.